like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Boruto chapter 48 is coming out in a couple of days, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it snuck up on me a little bit. Let's get into what I think is gonna happen before the spoilers actually do come out and ruin my entire video. But the first thing that we do have to look forward to is, of course, what we left off on in the last chapter, chapter 47. Kashin Koji was being left alone with the full force Isshiki Ōtsutsuki being reborn in Jigen's body. It's a very dim scene for Kashin Koji at that point. A lot of people are gonna probably assume that Kashin Koji might actually make it out of that scene alive. I think that's definitely a very slim chance. Now, the significance of Kashin Koji making it out of that scene alive is, of course, because of the fact that Kashin Koji is now known to be the clone of Jiraiya Sensei, and him meeting up with Naruto would be a very cool scene. And if Kashin Koji were to actually die in the next chapter, or potentially in the chapter after that, we would not get to see Naruto meet up with Kashin Koji, the clone of the younger version of Jiraiya, or at least as of yet. There is also a very good possibility that even if Kashin Koji, or this body of Kashin Koji, actually does die in this particular scene, he can possibly be recreated by Amado. They're actually hinting towards Kashin Koji actually being recreated in the Hidden Leaf Village a couple of chapters ago, and of course that would definitely be a very good scene for him meeting up with Naruto. But then again, we'd have to wait multiple chapters for them to actually recreate Kashin Koji, and then for Naruto and Kashin Koji to have that very sentimental time. Of course, Naruto having a whole bunch of emotions about seeing the younger version of Jiraiya. Now, as I said, I think it's a very small possibility that Kashin Koji, this version, actually makes it out of this scene alive. He is definitely not going to take on Isshiki Ōtsutsuki by himself and win. He's probably not going to be able to escape either. But because we're talking about Naruto and we're not talking about some other anime like My Hero Academia or Dragon Ball Z, there are techniques for ninjas to just disappear. But Isshiki is just too good for that. I feel like Isshiki would just be able to blitz Kashin Koji before he even weaves any hand signs. When Isshiki was in his Jigen's form, just regular form, he was already faster than Kashin Koji. When he was in his Karma Seal and Karma Seal stage 2 form, he was extremely faster than Kashin Koji. Now, him being fully reborn, his speed is probably on another level. Maybe Kashin Koji could be reverse summoned to Mount Byaboku. That would probably be like the only way I could see Kashin Koji instantaneously be removed from that circumstance without him actually doing anything. But even bringing up that possibility, in my opinion, is just a reach. Now, another big thing that should happen in the next chapter is going to be Amado's overall plan. Amado has been very smart and very calculated about his plan thus far. It's pretty much worked exactly how he imagined it to work, possibly even better than he imagined it to work. And also, Amado has been extremely careful or just lagging behind giving us all the information, and that's definitely by design of the Boruto writers. They're giving us the information bit by bit, and it's just making the chapters a lot more entertaining. But in the next chapter, we have to figure out what's the end game. At this point, Isshiki Ōtsutsuki is just going to be roaming around the ninja village, and he's probably going to go on a rampage, mainly because he has to get whatever he wants to get done within the span of a couple of days. Amado pointed out earlier that because Isshiki Ōtsutsuki got reborn in the unworthy body, which was Jigen, he's probably only going to be alive for a couple of days. That right there is going to expedite the process of Isshiki Ōtsutsuki trying to find Kawaki, giving him the Karma Seal, and possibly getting some revenge on some other characters, namely Naruto, Amado, and Kashin Koji. In my review of the previous chapter, I said the only thing I could possibly see them doing, running, hiding, and hoping that Isshiki Ōtsutsuki does die quicker than they expect. But there's a high possibility that Amado did think of a plan after Isshiki Ōtsutsuki was actually reborn and how to take care of him at this point. Now, with this line of thinking, I'm just operating on the level of respect that Amado does have, because as I said, he's been extremely calculated in his moves to this point. His plan possibly worked even better than he could have ever imagined it to work. It would just be negligent of Amado to just leave everything as is and just say YOLO for a couple of days, where Jigen could possibly just roam throughout the shinobi world and give his Karma Seal to like 50 different people. So I think 1000% Amado is definitely going to have a plan. Another question that we all have to ask ourselves is what is going to happen with the outsiders of the Kata organization member, or even the insiders of the Kata organization, characters such as Depot and characters such as Code, the ones that we have yet to see in the anime, and of course the ones that we did see in the manga already. One specifically being Code, and we understand that Code is guarding the Ten Tails. We don't necessarily know exactly what Isshiki Ōtsutsuki is trying to do with the Ten Tails, and that right there could possibly be revealed to us in the next chapter as well. I'm going to tell you guys right now, flat out, the next chapter of Boruto is going to be the most unpredictable chapter that we have had in a very long time. This can go either way, mainly because there is no set idea of what Isshiki Ōtsutsuki is going to try to do at this point. The only thing that we could possibly assume that Isshiki is going to try to do is pretty much get rid of Kashin Koji, and we understand that Kashin Koji 9 times out of 10 is not going to survive that. That could be done in like the first 5 pages. The next 35 pages is pretty much up in the air, but I do know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Give me your opinion and your predictions about what you guys expect to see in the next chapter of Boruto. But of course, the spoilers from the next chapter of Boruto is probably going to be released today or possibly even tomorrow before the chapter actually does release. But I just wanted to get my honest and raw opinions about what's probably going to happen in the next chapter out to you guys. But it's me, your boy Bar B, and we out.
It's a knife.